Well, it's that time of the year. It's when all the high school bands are doing all kinds of football games. They're all tuned up and ready to go, so we figured we'd invite them out to a ball game. It's band night here at Citizens Bank Park. NBC Sports Philadelphia, home of the authentic fan, presents the Mets and the Phillies. All right, so the standings look like this. The Phillies 6.5 games behind the Atlanta Braves. They still have the 7 games against the Braves, but you can't even think about those matchups because the Mets are in town, and the Mets certainly have handled the Phillies this year. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Ben Davis, as we get set for the final 3 games against the New York Mets. It hasn't gone all that well for the Phillies this year against the Mets, but tonight they've got Jake Arrieta on the mound. Now, Arrieta is looking to do something special tonight, what could be his final home start of the season.
It could be an overall very good career numbers against these Mets, 2-3 with a sub-2 ERA. That is pretty darn good. Jake Arrieta's last outing against these Mets, he was excellent. Very good movement, and the movement was late. That's what he depends on. That's what he relies on, and he was able to get it. All 4 pitches were working for him against the Mets this day. He got some good defense, and that's exactly what he wants to do. That's going to be his MO again tonight.
All right, he's coming off a start in which he just went 5 innings, so he obviously is well rested. We've talked about his second half numbers, how good they are traditionally. Now, they haven't been up to the same level here in 2018, but it doesn't mean that he can't spin a good game again tonight against the team that he has handled so far in his career. On the other side, Zach Wheeler has been so good, but he is riding what the Mets have ridden this year against the Phils. They're 10-6 against the Phillies, a 4.11 ERA for the Mets starters, but their bullpen ERA has been so good, and they haven't really had a stable bullpen against everybody else, but they have had one against the Phillies. And now you have Wheeler. It's Wheeler, Syndergaard, DeGrom. That is a huge 1-2-3 punch for the New York Mets.
I guess you could say over his last 11 starts, he really has been the best pitcher in baseball. It's hard to say with DeGrom and with Syndergaard, with Chris Sale, but he really has. He got an explosive fastball. He actually throws 5 pitches, and he will throw them all. He's starting to throw his splitter a little bit more to left. He's offset. But look at these numbers. Last 11 starts, 9-1 with a 1.67. Opposition's batting average just 192. That's a joke.
Well, we will talk more about his numbers because since the All-Star break, as Ben said, he could be the best pitcher in baseball. And we'll back it up not only with the normal numbers, but also with the analytical numbers as well. He really has been exceptional for the New York Mets. It is game 1 of this 3-game series. It'll be Wheeler against Arrieta. When we return to Citizens Bank Park, we'll have lineups and first pitch for game number 1. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. By Toyota, tested, trusted Toyota. Let's go places. By Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. By Coca-Cola, taste the feeling. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IVX.com. 77 degrees, little humidity here at Citizens Bank Park. Let's take a look at the Mets lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Med Rosario leads it off, and then Jeff McNeil, and then Michael Conforto. So 11 home runs since the 12th of August, tied for second most in Major League Baseball. He also is in double digits already against the Phillies for his career. That's, I think, the biggest concern more than anything else for Jake Arrieta, who's given up some home runs recently. He's 10-9 on the year with an earned run average of 3.66. And Ben, you mentioned the open. He's pitched well against the Mets in his career.
Yeah, 2-3 with a sub-2 ERA. Fastball range anywhere from 92 to 95 to go along with the change curve and the slider.
Rosario leads it off, and we're underway. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Jeff Nelson is the home plate umpire, and he's the crew chief. He was out very early today as the grounds crew was working on the field. The tarp was still sitting in left field. This is the final time the Mets and the Phillies face each other, so the game is in his hands in Major League Baseball, weather-wise. Outside, some people think it's in his hands anyway. 2 balls and 1 strike to Rosario, who was 4 for 13 in the last series for the Mets. Opposite way, Carlos has it, and now a little foot race. So 1 out, and here's Jeff McNeil. If you haven't watched the Phillies and the Mets with Jeff McNeil in the lineup, all we can tell you is that he's been a pain in the butt. In fact, Gabe Kapler talked today about this Mets team and the National League East as a unit, and said, think about in 2019 how potentially good this division will be. I know people talk about it not being that great a division right now. There's a line drive base hit to center field.
Goodness.
He just keeps on hitting against the Phillies. Now it's time for the Indeed player resume. We talk about Jeff McNeil, and that's what he's done against the Phillies. 14 of 32 with 5 runs batted in, but a .438 batting average.
And that just went up.
And now Conforto, that's out to left center field. Odubel has a beat on it. That's workable, a 1-pitch out.
Well, it worked for McNeil. Conforto said, I'm going to go swing at that first one.
And now Todd Frazier. Ball, no strikes to Todd Frazier. 1 for 9 in the Red Sox series. And overall hitting .222, 18 home runs, 58 runs batted in. There's a strike, 1-1. Arrieta in his last outing, 5 innings, 3 hits, and 3 earned runs. He struck out 7. It was a game where he received a no decision. The Phillies lost 7-6. I'll tell you the one thing about him in a lot of his games, the first inning is not the issue. His ball moves so well in the first inning. It's usually the second inning, for some reason, where he's mechanically off just a little bit. But he's matched up against a good pitcher tonight that's hot. So the Phillies are happy to have him out there. Out to shortstop. J.P. Crawford is there. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. That's a 10-pitch first inning for Jake Arrieta. To the bottom of the first we go. Mets nothing. Phillies coming up. up the tee, hit in the cage today, so he's getting back closer to 100%. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Cesar leads it off. His numbers against Wheeler, he's 7 for 11 against him. Now, the one thing you have to think about with the numbers against Wheeler, he's a different pitcher right now. He has figured something out since the last time the Phillies saw him, and he statistically is having one of the best second halves in all of Major League Baseball.
He has been dominant in the last 11 starts we talked about in that open. He has just been amazing. Very easy 95 to 97.
Cesar takes low. Wouldn't it be nice for Cesar to lead off every game with a home run?
Yeah.
Cesar 6 for 27. And the series against the Marlins. Let's take a look at the giant home run replay.
Down and in. A lefty specialty. Just a sweet swing by Cesar. That's your home run replay, brought to you by Giant.
When that happens, and you already knew that the Braves were trailing, you're thinking, all right, this is the Phillies' day. Unfortunately, though, the Marlins took the lead, and the Phillies made a run late, but just couldn't overcome it. 2 balls and 1 strike to Cesar. 3-1. With some sink, but it's 3-2. The best secondary pitch for Wheeler seems to be his split. It just has complemented the fastball so much, particularly in the second half. I think you're going to see it right here. Nope, it's the fastball, and it's popped up on the left side.
And what that splitter has done is really offset the left-handers. I had a long talk today with Ron Darling, and he said, what has really made Zach Wheeler the pitcher that he is? He's first and foremost, he's watched DeGrom pitch a lot. He's been on the attack. He said we've been used to seeing him at 4 innings, 5 innings at 100 pitches. He said now he's on the attack. And more importantly, he's healthy. He feels good about himself. Take a look at his pitch usage here. Throws that fastball an awful lot, and why wouldn't you? At 95, 97, and talked about just zero effort out on the mound.
Rhys Hoskins takes one of those fastballs, and you saw the slider is used the second most, but the split is really his out pitch. I mean, the fastball's there too, but he has certainly used it. Rhys 7 for 24 against the Marlins. That one's over to third. Frazier behind the bag. 2 outs here in the first, and that'll bring Asdrubal Cabrera to the plate. Mickey Callaway in his first year. He's had a little rough go of it. Things have sort of settled down for him. I think part of that is that the Mets have won more games than they did in the first half. Winning does cure a lot. Cabrera, you see 60 extra base hits, ties his career high. He breaks his bat and hits that one to second, and McNeil is up with it. And an easy inning for Wheeler. And the Phillies go now 1-2-3. That's a 9-pitch bottom of the first. We'll go to the second. Brendan Nimmo will lead it off for the Mets when we return. Upgrade to the technology of tomorrow today. And on base percentage, the National League leaders, Nimmo is number 4. Joey Votto leads the way at .423. And Nimmo leads it off. He's hitting .349 his last 26 games and takes strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Ground ball foul, 0-2. Nice play. Oh, Murph. I know you knocked it down, but you got to make that play. Good toss, buddy.
What a gentleman.
No balls and 2 strikes to Nimmo. And that one just a bit low. One ball and 2 strikes to Nimmo. And it runs inside. He stays alive. Two balls and 2 strikes to Nimmo. He'll be followed by Dominic Smith and Austin Jackson. Gabe said that he saw Nimmo in the hallway today. They were talking about, you know, the Mets, and Nimmo said that the fact that they've had so many injuries, third base umpire Manny Gonzalez says he held up, that they had so many injuries early. A lot of their young players were just kind of thrown in there, and there were no substitutions. They just played. And he said that's, you know, why they have played better as the years gone on, because they've been able to adjust and adjust to, you know, major league pitching on an everyday basis. And that one just missed outside. Oh, those are close pitches.
Tried that a couple times, that backdoor slider slash cutter, whatever you want to call it. They were close.
So a base runner, it's the second one of the night for the Mets, and Dominic Smith will come up. He was 0 for 6 in the series against the Red Sox. See his career numbers in just a year plus in the big leagues. Came up last year. On the inside corner, and it's 0-1.
It's when Jake's at his best, when he can get those fastballs located to his glove side. So into a lefty, away to a righty.
Runner goes, pitches hit foul. Oh man,
goodness,
that knocked Jacob deGrom right off the stairwell. I think he's going to go to a different spot.
I'm out.
Phillies will miss deGrom in this series, but they get Wheeler and Syndergaard along with Steven Matz.
Is that your consolation prize?
I guess so. That one spun into center field, a base hit. It was a curveball that was up in the zone some. And the Mets have runners on first and second now in the top of the second.
Yeah, right in the middle of the plate.
I guess in some ways he's lucky that it's just a single.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll bring Austin Jackson up. That ends at 0 for 9 for Dominic Smith. Jackson hitting .267 in a Mets uniform. Overall, between the Mets and the Giants, .255 on the year. 3 home runs, 30 RBIs. And that fastball runs away, 1-0. Runners on first and second. Jackson digs in. Let's go over to Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. The story of Austin Jackson, as you mentioned, started the season with the Giants, was traded to Texas and then released, but it seemed to have found a home here in New York, at least for the second part of the season. When he got to New York, he kind of burst on the scene. He batted .350 in the month of August, talking about making a good first impression. But, you know, one of the things that Mickey Callaway said that they wanted to see out of him when he arrived in New York was just his athleticism, able to play all 3 outfield positions, very good base runner, and also a leader in the clubhouse, which they have leaned on him to do as he continues in a Mets uniform. And it's so interesting to think about his athleticism, because I was looking back at, you know, some of the stories written on Austin Jackson over the years. And did you know that when he was 12 years old, he was rated as the #1 baseball player as a 12-year-old in the country by Baseball America? And then again, when he was 15, Baseball America again once named him the best baseball player as a 15-year-old in the United States. And when he was in high school, how about rated the 10th best point guard in America as well? So obviously athleticism has been with him from a very early age, and you know, he's done a nice job with the Mets. He's cooled off a little bit in the month of September, but it'll be interesting to see if there's a future with the New York Mets going forward to keep this veteran around for a little while.
I know the Mets are not in contention by any stretch of the imagination, but the one thing about Jackson is he hits this one to short. A one-hopper past J.P. Crawford in the center, and Nimmo's going to score. And over to third base goes Smith. Rhys Hoskins slips, so Jackson goes to second. And it's 1-0 Mets. Well, that didn't work out well at all, because Rhys slipping enabled Smith to go to third, but also Jackson to get to second base just ahead of the throw.
Now you eliminate that double play. This ball is very close to being a double play. Ball's hit just to JP's left. And then Rhys slips out in left field. That enables Jackson to get to second base. Philly's going to have to play the infield in.
All right, it is scored a double. And here's Tomas Nido, who had a big base hit in one of the games between the Phillies and the Mets up at Citi Field. I really thought JP was going to get that ball. And then right there, Rhys is lucky he didn't hurt himself.
Yeah. He didn't blow out his groin.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. Well, if ever Jake Arrieta needs a strikeout, this could be that time. Foul tip, 1-2.
That was a big swing there by Nido. So he'd like to elevate that fastball a little bit more.
Over to shortstop. JP has it. Looks the runner back to third. His old buddy Dominic Smith. 6-3 on the putout. 1 out. And now Zach Wheeler's up.
Get the pitcher out here. You might be able to see yourself out of this with just the 1 run.
Wheeler 189 on the year. He does have 4 RBIs.
One thing that definitely helps the Phillies defense here is the fact that Smith doesn't run real well at third base.
Whether his bat didn't, his body did. And it's 0-2.
Nice. Home plate umpire Jeff Nelson wasn't able to see this.
That's the way Odubel sometimes holds up. The 0-2 pitch.
I'd like to see a little bit better execution on these 0-2 pitches. Saw the one to Smith, the hanging breaking ball.
Strike 3 call. Jeff Nelson reading the inside corner on that pitch. First strikeout for Arrieta. Yeah, that'll bring Ahmed Rosario to the plate. Well, the Mets are here for 2 more nights, tomorrow and Wednesday. Wednesday is a 6:05 first pitch. Go to Phillies.com to get your tickets right now for the rest of the Phillies and the Mets series. And then it's down to just 1 series left here at the ballpark. The final weekend against the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta hosting St. Louis tonight. Swing and a miss by Rosario, who hit one sharply to first his first time up. That's a good pitch.
Yeah. Triple up on it here. He's got 2. See the late movement on that. And 2 swings on it here from Rosario.
Down the right field line. He did throw it again. Rosario's had a better second half, including his numbers with runners in scoring position. Ground ball toward the hole. Cut off by Cabrera, and in time. Well, that's a nice job. Jake Arrieta working the rounds. The second and third with a run in. Took 27 pitches, but he's through the second. We're on to the bottom of the second. And VIP surprises, including a chance to sit in the NBC Sports Philadelphia suite. We want you to be here, but if you can't, there'll be special giveaways on social media during the game. Some of the youngsters try to get a baseball or two from the bullpen. Ramos leads it off. It takes inside. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a strike, 1-1. Ramos is really, I know that he's been banged up somewhat, hasn't played every day, but the Phillies do want to get Alfaro some time behind the plate. But his numbers have been so good since the Phillies picked him up.
They really have.
391 with a home run. Overall, he's hitting 314 with 15 home runs. And he pokes that one foul toward the upper deck.
What I just really like about him is his willingness to use the entire field.
And he stands away from the plate. It's not like he smothers the plate with that open stance. Back toward the middle. McNeil is up with it. And 1 out here in the second. Well, these are the final 3 games before the 3 games against the Braves. So time is winding down in the regular season here at the ballpark. And it's usually a chance for us to say thank you to our crew. Pete Mickelson, who is one of our camera operators and is always up here behind home plate. Pete's part of the family. And we took them out to the yard just to get some action. Look at Farnese coming in left-handed, looking like Jerry Koosman. Look at Pete, kept his eye on the ball. Multi-talented is our crew. Don't challenge them to a wiffle ball
That was a good swing by Pistol Pete.
That boy, Pete. Pete's one of a handful of guys in our crew that probably won't hurt themselves if they do an athletic event. Some may hurt themselves. Some have here at the ballpark in athletic events. Greg Farnese.
Not to mention anyone in particular.
2 balls and no strikes to Carlos Santana. 3-0. Carlos 5 for 21 against the Marlins. There's ball 4. So Carlos reaches 100 walks. The most walks by a Phillies player since Pat Burrell in 08. And it's the 3rd time in his career that he has reached 100 walks in a game, in a season, I should say.
He wants the ball.
Jeff Nelson thought there was something else.
You know, when Carlos left the box, he looked back towards Jeff Nelson, and I heard him say ball. And I just said, yeah, it was a ball. It was ball 4. But he actually wanted the ball. 100 walks. Well, that's some good peepers.
Here's Nick Williams. That baseball will be authenticated, which Major League Baseball does all around the league and has for the last several years. Nick hitting .256 with 17 home runs. That's a spinner back toward the middle. McNeil quickly to second, and Rosario able to turn the double play. Well, that was a nifty turn. A 4-6-3 double play. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. 10 pitch inning, 19 the first 2 for Wheeler. on the subject line. All right, Ben, who holds the Mets record for most triples in one season? Most triples in one season.
Interesting.
Answer will be revealed in just a little bit. Fly ball left center field. Herrera is out there. And McNeil's retired on one pitch. Yeah, that'll bring Conforto to the plate. Conforto fly to center his first time up. A strike on the inner half. It's 0-1. Gets by Ramos. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mets come in 69-80. They're 14 games out in the National League East. Phillies 6.5 games out. Washington, which is already leading Miami 1-0. 7.5 games out in the East. See the standings. Todd Frazier on deck. And a breaking ball and a strike 3 call. I think he just fooled him with the curveball.
Yeah, I think Conforto was looking for that slider / cutter that he swung at the pitch before. Looking for that ball in underneath his hands, and Arrieta just go ahead and backdoors it.
Frazier takes strike 1. It's 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Arrieta in his last 6 games, 1-3, an ERA of 5.85. Over the last several days, the starters, as everybody knows, have not gone that deep in a game. But Arrieta with a nice 1-2-3 inning picks up his 3rd strikeout. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's the Mets 1 and the Phillies 0. ShopChooseNissan.com.
Keep me hanging like that, partner.
Well, I wanted to make sure I emphasized it.
Bated breath over here.
Odubel Herrera is scheduled to lead it off. Odubel hitting .256, 0 for his last 10. It's another one of those little slumps. Well, let's face it, since the 41st, 42nd game of the year, it's been a slump for Odubel. He is 1 for 9 against Zach Wheeler. Change up low. That was the splitter. The one hit he has is a home run.
The other thing that Ron Darling told me, he said he's Wheeler more willing to pitch in. And one thing he really concentrates on his bullpens. And he learned this from watching DeGrom throw his bullpens. Throws a lot out of his stretch. He throws 2 bullpens in between. And he concentrates heavily out of that stretch on glove side command with that fastball. So down and away to righties, in the lefties.
Yeah, since the All-Star break, he's 8-1, an earned run average of 1.32. We showed you his last 11 starts in the Open. If you break it down to the All-Star break, it's 10 starts, 69 strikeouts in 68 innings. So he leads all of Major League Baseball during that time in wins. He's second in all of Major League Baseball in ERA, 5th in batting average against, tied for 1st in slugging percentage against. And he's second to David Price among starters with qualifying innings in home runs allowed. It's full, 3-2 to Herrera. I think this is good, though, by Odubel, because there's a rhythm that power pitchers get into. And even though it's light and it's slight, you know, just breaking up that routine. Now, who knows if it's going to help in this at bat. But Odubel, we see him do this against Scherzer. And it does drive Scherzer crazy.
Yes, it does.
Or so he says. Floater out towards center field. Austin Jackson dives and he makes the catch.
Wow.
He did not read that well off the bat, but he was able to because of his speed, and as Murph talked about before, his athleticism, was able to make that catch for the first out here in the 3rd.
He broke back on this. I didn't think he had a chance. Seemed kind of go back and to his right, and then, boy, what closing speed that was. Wow. That is an excellent, excellent play.
1 out. J.P. Crawford is coming up. J.P. had a nice series against the Marlins. Takes low, 1 ball, no strikes. changeup, and it's 2-1. Splitter is a little harder than his changeup, so that was the splitter at 89 miles an hour.
Splitter, he throws 7.6% of the time.
Out to center field. Jackson is there. There are 2 outs, and Arrieta's coming up. Well, the final weekend series of the season is the Atlanta Braves are coming to town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 28th, 29th, and 30th. Fan Appreciation Day is the 30th, a free PGW 2019 schedule fathead to all fans. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. So it's freshman orientation at Drexel University, and all the freshmen were bussed over to enjoy a Phillies game. Somewhere in that mix is Sam Tanya. It's my neighbor. 0-1 to Jake Arrieta.
Came across the river to go to school, huh?
Yeah. His mom teaches at Drexel.
Oh.
Oh, 0-2. Fastball, strike 3 called. First strikeout for Wheeler. All right, kids, we're 3 innings in. Got to be a little louder than that. We'll go to the 4th. Order by 11:30 a.m. and your WB Mason driver delivers right to your break room. Local, fast, and convenient. Who but WB Mason? We get to the top of the 4th inning. It's 1-0 New York. And Arrieta, who made the last out, will face Brandon Nimmo, Dominic Smith, and Austin Jackson. Mentioned the starters this past weekend didn't work that deep into games. It's just, you know, the way things work out, as everybody knows. If you have a chance to get some runs, Gabe has such a deep bench. He's going to go to that bench. So they averaged 4 2/3. The starters with an ERA of 5.40 in those 13 1/3 innings of work. I think there's a little different approach for Arrieta and for Nola. Although, as Jake knows, he went 5 innings last time and he was pinch hit for. Nimmo walked and scored his first time, and he takes a pitch outside. That one's pulled to right field, a base hit, so Nimmo's aboard. And he's going to go for second. He'll get there. That's his 26th double of the season. Second extra base hit of the night. And Dominic Smith is coming up.
An exciting young man to watch. Quick bat here. No stride. Head down on it. He's thinking 3 out of the box, but Nick Williams does a good job of getting to this baseball and getting it in.
Well, you can't just will yourself to these victories, but the Braves are already trailing 3-0 to the St. Louis Cardinals, and if you think you have any chance to come back down 6.5 games, I think everybody saw that in 2007 when the Phillies overcame the Mets. I mean, you've got to be able to beat the teams below you, which we've said all year. Gabe said today, and he's been realistic the last couple of days about how his team has played. But he said today, he said, we can't play just good in this series. We have to play great for the rest of the year.
Everything's got to click.
Everything. A 1 pitch. Now, you can't force it. But there, some moments over the last several days. I mean, he took 2 of 3 from the Marlins, but you would have loved to have swept that series out. Dominic Smith singled to right center field. His first time up. It's almost as if he was defensive on that swing. It's 1-2.
But in that Braves game, Fultonevich in that first inning, he threw 37 pitches. 37.
Off the foul. Swing and a miss. That is the 4th strikeout for Arrieta. Dominic Smith now 0 for 17 with runners in scoring position. And with 1 out, Austin Jackson's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, you showed the Drexel students up watching the game. The Drexel freshmen. College is well represented here tonight at Citizens Bank Park. Tonight was our first college series of the fall semester, and we had about 200 college students for Business Analytics Night. And they joined us with a panel earlier today answering questions on what it's like to work for both the Major League Baseball team and for the Commissioner's Office. Charles Nixon from the Commissioner's Office was here. Chris Pohl and Josh Barbieri of the Phillies both took part in the question and answer part as well. It was a terrific night. Lots of great questions from the students, about 200, as I mentioned, packed into the media room. Tomorrow night, same thing, another college night. There's a couple of seats still available if college students are interested in being a part of that. It's the Sports Facilities and Operations Night, as that throw is a little bit in time.
Well, one Hopper Cabrera picked it up, and that's a very athletic play if it stands by Asdrubal Cabrera. Metz will take a peek at it. It looked like he got him on the leg as he slid past.
Yeah.
Now he's ruled out. Yeah, he got him. He got him on the backside.
He sure did.
That was a really good play by Asdrubal Cabrera. Not really sure why Nimmo decided to go there. It's close. But that's the kind of play you need when you're battling. 1-1 to Jackson, 1-2. Murph, finish that up, baby. I forgot. I forgot all about it as we were calling that play.
Not at all. I just wanted to also mention that on September the 28th, they're having a high school series night. So high school students that want to come down and be a part of the question and answer portion and then talk to some folks that work for the Phillies in and around the organization. You can sign up to be a part of that if you're a high school student. That's on September 28th when the Braves are in town. So make sure they do that.
All right. 5 strikeouts for Arrieta. as he comes back after the leadoff double, gets a couple strikeouts to wrap up this 4th inning. A couple big time plays and pitches in this frame. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. AI powered by AWS in the bottom of the top of the 4th inning.
It's an excellent play here by Asdrubal, just to first and foremost to catch the ball, but then to apply the tag. I don't know what Austin Jackson is doing here. See, Ramos, he throws, it's basically on his knees, but why is Jackson bending over and giving Wilson Ramos a clear throwing lane?
People helping people.
You're supposed to, if you're a right-handed hitter, and I used to hate it when guys just stand there like statues, but he does Wilson Ramos a huge favor there.
Yeah, it would have been a totally different throw for Ramos. He may not have gotten him because he would have had to get up and move.
Exactly right.
0-1 to Cesar as we begin the bottom of the 4th. Phillies still looking there for their first hit. No balls and 2 strikes. Cesar popped out his first time up. It'll be Cesar, Rhys Hoskins, and Asdrubal Cabrera here in the home 4th. Cesar goes after a high fastball. That's the second strikeout for Wheeler. And Rhys, who grounded out to 3rd his first time up, is coming up.
See where Nito's mitt is. Doesn't hit the spot. You're throwing 98. You can get away with some stuff. Wheeler's got a great pace to him as well. Just gets up there, gets his sign and goes.
Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mets picked him up in the trade for Carlos Beltran several years ago, and Beltran was traded off to the Giants. He's a former first-round pick. He was selected in the 1st round out of high school by the Giants in 2009. Giants were making a bid for the postseason, so they brought in a guy they thought would help them. It's tough to give up arms like this, though. I mean, sometimes it doesn't pan out, but for the Mets, they've traded for 2 first-rounders, Syndergaard and Wheeler, and it's worked out in both ways. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts. Phillies baseball is brought to you by your local Chevrolet dealers and by WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for fast free delivery? Nobody does it better. He's guys enjoying some cheesesteaks. They stopped at the Majestic Clubhouse store as well. Here's Cabrera. Cabrera grounded out his first time up. Takes a ball off the outside edge. 1-0.
If you go into a weekend series with DeGrom, Syndergaard, and Wheeler.
It's a pretty tough threesome if they all pitch the way they have pitched. Popped up into shallow center field. Rosario's there. And Wheeler has not allowed a hit through the first 3 innings. His pitch count is at a pretty low pace. We'll head to the 5th inning. Call him Slappy. He's one of our audio engineers. He's our heavy. If we have any problems, he and Christine will take care of it. He's a southpaw.
I didn't know Slap was wrong-handed.
Yeah. He's going with the little Jake Arrieta look with his trip out to the yard. Personalities are always important, and we have a crew that is filled with vastly different and embracing personalities.
Yes.
And we come to work every day loving our jobs, loving the ballpark, loving all the people that we interact with. But our crew they're part of our family on so many levels. And we appreciate everything that they do. Ben would not have his brand new headset plugged in if Slappy and Joe Kennedy and Christine weren't here. Although I think he probably can do it by himself now. I don't know that for sure, but
not many things I know how to do, T-Back.
2-1 to Nito, who grounded out to short his first time. It's 2-2. There he had 5 strikeouts through 4. The only problem is he's dealing with a guy that has a no-hitter through 4.
How many run he's allowed? Was that walk, that leadoff walk back in the 2nd inning?
Yeah, I think the walk was the tough part. I also think that Dominic Smith's little single was a tough one too, because he didn't hit it that hard, but he obviously kept things alive for Austin Jackson. A liner out to right field for Nito, and that's going to drop in for a hit. So a leadoff single here in the 5th. Follow the race to the postseason on MLB.tv for $25.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this limited offer. Here's Wheeler after the leadoff single. Wheeler went down looking on strikes his first time up. With 2, showed bunt and then pulled it back and took a rip. Lines a base hit to right center field. Nito's going to go over to third. And the Mets have first and third with nobody out.
Another poorly executed 0-2 pitch.
Yeah, so a guy that was hitting 178 coming in and a guy hitting 189 coming in have back-to-back singles.
It's a rolling breaking ball here. Wheeler makes him pay.
The Phillies will play the infield at double play depth, so they'll concede another run to get an out or two. Rosario obviously difficult to double up. He has hit 2 ground balls in his first 2 at bats. Drive to right field. Williams is there. He'll make the catch. Tagging from third, Nito. And the throw cut off by Santana. A sac fly for Rosario. 2-0 Mets. And now Jeff McNeil's coming up.
McNeil's seen 2 pitches tonight. He's got a single and a fly ball to center. I think he attacks the first one again.
Pretty good chance he does. He went around. Little water ice on a warm night.
Blue raspberry.
Tip 0-2. I will say that he has as much movement on his pitches tonight than we have seen. I mean, that ball is whizzing everywhere.
Yeah.
He's among the leaders in ground balls induced for double plays, and it would be nice to get one right here to wrap up the 5th inning. They're not holding Wheeler on. That's not a double play. That's down the right field line. That's in for a hit. Nick Williams cuts it off. They're going to hold Wheeler at third. Yeah, that's a double for McNeil, his 9th in the big leagues. Well, he was ahead 2 strikes. And he gives up the extra base hit.
McNeil really chokes up.
Well, McNeil talked about strikeouts, and he's our Geico quote of the day on his dislike for K's. I hate to strike out. I've been that way my whole life. I was the same way in Little League, where I struck out like once a year. That was compliments of Kevin Kernan, a longtime writer from the New York Post.
How can you not be that way? I mean, you saw that approach. He chokes way up on the bat. Was rewarded with a double.
And now the infield in. Conforto lines a base hit it to right center field. That's going to score 2. Conforto holds up at first. It's a 2-run single, and now it's 4-0. Mets on top. And again, with a guy that has a no-hitter through 4 for New York.
Very aggressive approach here we've seen early on by these Mets. Like Luis Avilan's going to get loose. Now that particular slider didn't do a whole lot. Good looking swing there by Conforto.
Well, Rick Kranitz out to the mound. And now Todd Frazier, who's 0 for 2. Cranny goes right back to the phone. Drive base hit to left center field. Hoskins is able to cut it off, but Conforto goes to third. The throw to second is in time to get Todd Frazier.
Nice play there by Reese.
That is the 5th outfield assist of the season for Reese.
But when you have a 4-run lead, you can take these kind of chances. You can put pressure on the defense. I don't blame Frazier one bit. This ball is cooked out to left field. I think Frazier thinking 2 right out of the box. It's a good turn. He tries a swim move there at second base to no avail.
Yeah, never got there. And now you have Nimmo. Nimmo doubled his last time and walked and scored his first time up. 4-0 New York. They already have 9 hits. And they are going after pitches early.
They're getting some good rips here.
Ben said Avilan warming up in the pen. One ball and 2 strikes to Nimmo. Well, so important to keep this at 4. I mean, for so many reasons, partly because of what Wheeler's doing.
Yeah.
But even if you look beyond that, the bullpen for the Mets we showed you during the open has done such a good job against the Phillies this year. but it's more about Wheeler. The fact that he hasn't allowed a hit through the first 4 innings. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him with a changeup. 6 strikeouts for Arrieta. The Mets, though, scored 3 runs in the inning. They have 9 hits through the first 5. Bills. How about what the Clearwater Threshers did this year? You know, they 33-36 in the first half, and then 45-24 in the second half. Now they lost to Daytona in the North Division Series. But Jose Pujols was the Florida State League Player of the Year. Derek Hall, before he got promoted to Double-A, had 11 home runs. It was a really nice season for them. Home 5th inning. Wilson Ramos leads it off against Zach Wheeler, who is not allowed to hit through his first 4. Ramos grounded out his first time up. And a diving attempt by McNeil, and it's off his glove. And that should be the first hit of the night for the Phils. Ball was hit sharply by Ramos. Spinning and bouncing away from McNeil as the rain starts to fall. All right, so the Phils get their first hit. Second base runner.
Ball was scorched. McNeil does everything he can. Breaks up the no-no.
So Carlos, who walked for the 100th time in the season, his last time up. And he pulls that one to right field. And it's run down by Nimmo. And 1 out. So he's not wasting any time. They're taking the same approach the Mets took against Jake.
Last thing I'd want to do against Wheeler is get in a hole.
He throws so many fastballs. I mean, I think it's always a good approach if it's a good pitch to go after it.
But his ability to use both sides, I think, is really paying dividends. And we talked about how free he looks like he's asleep out there, and the ball just jumps. I mean, jumps out of his hand.
Williams hit it to a double play his first time up. And a line drive off the glove of Frazier. A base hit it to left field. And the Phils have 2 runners on with 1 out here in the 5th inning.
Ball was in the outfield before Nick Williams even got out of the batter's box.
Gabe talked about this matchup and you know, like the fastball hitter in Williams against the fastball of Wheeler. Yeah, you're right. And now Odubel will fly to center his first time. Mets have had 7 attempts with runners in scoring position. The Phillies, this is their first. Odubel fouls the first pitch. See his frustration because he had a pitch to hit.
That is a hard slider.
Inside.
Think about what that pitch does. It sets up pretty much whatever you want. .97 at your right elbow.
Got the elbow of Odubel Herrera, and it'll load the bases up. The Mets asked for an appeal on the swing.
Wow. Ball just kept chasing Odubel inside.
Sean Ficasny comes running out immediately. Yeah, the bases are now loaded. It's no swing according to Manny Gonzalez. I mean, he dropped the bat almost immediately after getting hit.
Slider acting more like a cutter at 92. It just kept chasing Odubel inside. Doesn't pick up any spin, obviously. Wow.
Take a listen. All right, so as Ben said, 92 miles per hour on that pitch. It loads the bases up for J.P. Crawford. J.P. hit the ball hard his first time up. Justin Bour is out of the on-deck circle to pitch hit here in the bottom of the 5th. So the runners lead off. Ball and no strikes.
Give me a couple right here. Obviously, I'd love to get all 4 back, but good one to hit there. You know, you wonder if that Zach Wheeler having to run the bases last inning really affected him.
I was thinking the same thing because we say that from time to time with pitchers, and you wouldn't think, because they're trained, particularly somebody that's 28 years old, you wouldn't think it would be a big deal, but does it have a lasting impact?
But when it comes to a sprint, it can be different.
That one's pulled. A base hit down the right field line. One run is in. Here comes Williams. Herrera's to third, and he's being waved home. He stepped around the third base bag. He'll score standing. It's a 3-run triple for J.P. Crawford, and a 1-run game.
A big hit for J.P. He hits it by his good buddy Dominic Smith at first base. Wheeler goes back to the curveball, which in his last start, he threw upwards of 20% of that curveball. He gets hurt by it here. Goes out and yanks that ball. Ball's an outside corner and yanks it down the first base line.
And Dusty waited until the last possible minute, watching the whole way. Look at Dusty. Look, he's looking at the play. Now he's waving Odubel as he gets to the third base bag. Got himself in a nice position to see where the ball was. And a nice reaction from J.P. Crawford. That is a huge hit in this ball game on so many levels. It's now a 1-run game, and you've got the pinch hitter up with 1 man down.
Incredible. Now, getting back to that, though, Wheeler hits a single, so he goes to first base, and then McNeil comes up later on in that inning, hits a double down the right field line. He's got to bust it from first to third base, and then he eventually scores on another base hit, but it could have a lasting effect. They're not used to sprinting.
I would normally tell you no, it wouldn't have an effect, but you have to think about it a little bit.
They're not used to sprinting. They can run distance all day.
So now Bohr has 1 hit against Wheeler in his career, and he's hit by that pitch. That's the second hitter that he has hit in this inning. And it puts runners on first and third for Cesar Hernandez.
Dylan Cousins on the run for Justin Bohr.
Cousins definitely has more speed than Justin. So Jake goes 5 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. And here's Cesar Hernandez, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Frazier close to the bag at third, keeping an eye on Crawford. Can't imagine the Phillies would ever think about a suicide squeeze, but Crawford at third base is good speed. Cesar is an excellent bunter if he wanted a bunt for a base hit. I only say that because it's a great combination of the two. And with Frazier back even with the bag. 1 ball, no strikes.
The only problem is bunting against someone like Wheeler with all that velocity.
It's true.
Could be tough.
Cesar takes on the inner half, 1-1. First 4 innings, all they allowed was a walk, and that was erased on a double play. Here in the 5th inning, 3 runs on 3 hits and 2 hit batters. Thankfully, that net was able to slow things down. It ricocheted off the net. Rhys Hoskins on deck. The Mets have Jerry Blevins warming up in their bullpen. Fly ball. Short left field. Conforto's under it. Crawford's tagging. Conforto's got it. His throw to the plate is not in time. The Phils have come all the way back and tied this baby up. A sacrifice fly for Cesar Hernandez. It's a 4-4 game.
Well, I said I just wanted a couple back, but down deep, T-Mac, I wanted all 4 of them back.
Why wouldn't you? And Cousins goes to second on the fly ball.
Just a really good job of fundamental, situational hitting. JP slides in easily.
No, it's JP whose triple has ignited things. And now it's Rhys Hoskins with a runner in scoring position. Great job by Dylan Cousins. He noticed the trajectory of that throw. And now Tomas Nido out to the mound to talk to Wheeler. Sometimes you think about this game of baseball, it is absolutely amazing.
It makes it the best game there is.
I mean, truly, he was humming along and now has allowed 4 runs in this inning. Odubel getting hit by a pitch. 1 of 2 in the inning. Rhys takes inside. Rhys.
Yeah, the breaking ball there. The remainder of this game will obviously be left up to the bullpen. Just hope that they can go out and do exactly what they did the other night. 7 innings pitched, 0 walks, just 2 hits.
Last time Wheeler allowed 4 runs in a game was back on the 14th of July against the Nationals. That was in 7 2/3. Victor Arano is loosening up in the bullpen as well. Yeah, I think you have to look at this game a little differently if you're Gabe as far as the relievers go. Way outside, 2-1. This may be his last hitter. They throw behind Dylan Cousins and the ball trickles into center field.
They're going to call Rhys out.
They're going to say that he interfered. Wow. Well, it's a judgment call by Jeff Kellogg, the home plate umpire. I mean, he did hit him as he was making the throw to second base. So Hoskins is called out for interference. The Phillies tie it up as we go to the 6th. into the Phils' offensive approach. Roman has the speed that most dream about, and he has used it on the base path to steal bases and in the field to run down would-be hits. Roman is out of the box like a flash, reaching base safely in 16 of his last 19, heading into the final 2 weeks. Quinn is quick, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Roman Quinn is available to join the Phillies in this ball game as a pinch hitter or pinch runner. His foot is a little sore. That's why he's not starting tonight. This is the last out of the last inning. Now, it's a swinging strike, and Reese did not mean to get in the way of Nito, but Nito's hand did hit Reese. So Jeff Kellogg, the home plate umpire, even though it was inadvertent, called it interference. So Reese is out. It's 2 unassisted on the scoring. It's just unfortunate, but the contact was made even though it was inadvertent. So we remain tied at 4, and Luis Avilan will take over here in the top of the 6th inning. And a big curve to Dominic Smith is high, 1-0. Avilan acquired by the Phillies from the Chicago White Sox. Miles an hour. For the White Sox this year, he's 2-1 with an ERA of 2.86. For the Phillies, he has a 2.70 ERA. I do think that if Nito did not hit Reese, I don't think that it would have been called.
No. And you're taught as a catcher to not try and avoid the batter.
So this 2-2.
Because I've done it where I've tried to avoid the batter, made an errant throw, and nothing's called. And I said, the umpire, he interfered. He said, you have to make contact.
Right.
But it's hard to get to yourself to say, to follow through when there's an obstruction there, because you don't want to hurt your arm.
Got him. He went a little slower. 7th strikeout for Phillies pitching. Gabe Kapler's coming out, and it looks like that's going to be it for Avilan. So he gets the one batter that he faces, and that will then bring in Victor Arano. So another pitching change for the Phils here in the 6th inning. The righty coming in to face Austin Jackson. We'll be back right after this. Placing this deposit, you will be able to secure your plan and seat location prior to the official on-sale date. For more information, visit Phillies.com/season deposits or call 215-463-5000. Luis Avilan does his job. And now it's Victor Arano. 1-2 with an ERA of 2.45. And he will face Austin Jackson, who's doubled and struck out. Tommy Hunter warms up in the bullpen for the Phillies. There's Tommy. Popped up foul. And out of play, 2-2. Down at Atlanta, the Braves were trailing at 3-0, but now Freddie Freeman's 2-run home run has made it a 3-2 game in the bottom of the third. Michaelis is pitching for St. Louis. Fultonevich for the Braves. What a pickup he was, huh? Michaelis. Outside 3-2. Washington, meanwhile, leads Miami 4-0 down in South Florida. Some of the quotes coming out of D.C. from the players say, hey, if we take care of business here against Miami, we don't feel like we're out of any of it. Grounder to shortstop. Crawford is up with it. 2 outs. Time for T-Mobile, built for baseball. Well, Andy Rabel's built for baseball. Andy firing out on the mound at the yard. Andy's generally down in our third base dugout camera position. I have known Andy since I was 20 years old. I never knew him for a Louis Tion look. He's an old school baseball fan.
Oh, Jake, you got to keep your head on it.
Jake Miller's Uncle Mike is not going to be happy with that effort. Carlos Santana makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning for Phil's pitching. Here in the top of the 6th inning, the bullpen steps up. Now we go to the bottom of the 6th. The Phillies check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Zach Wheeler still out there as we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. And he will face his Drupal Cabrera, Wilson Ramos, and Carlos Santana for the Phillies. Phillies scored 4 runs in their 5th inning to tie it up at 4. Let's see if they can keep on adding on against Zach Wheeler.
He's only got 66 pitches.
And that got Cabrera. That's the 3rd batter hit by a pitch tonight for the Phils.
The 2nd one on that slider.
And that's 3 now in the last 2 innings. The Mets are taking a peek at it just to make sure. And Scott Kingery is going to come pinch run for his Drupal Cabrera.
We're at the left toe.
All right, so Cabrera is going to check out of the game. And Kingery is going to check in. So the Phillies add some speed. Asdrubal was kind of funny. He was at first base. He said, I'm good. And they said, no, we're going to take you out anyway. And this is to bring more speed in. And now what will happen is that Kingery will come in to play short, and J.P. Crawford will move over to 3rd base. As Ramos smokes one foul off the first base side, it's 0-1. Gabe is trying to capitalize here on Ramos and hope that maybe he can put one in the gap. And if he does, Kingery will score. He should score anyway. There goes Kingery. That ball's pulled foul. Man, he had that base stolen easily.
Sure did.
That's the other thought too, is he can steal a base, get in a scoring position.
Absolutely. And he did have a good jump. Very quick, that initial step. Very quick there by Scotty. You know, it's not going to be a hit and run. First of all, Gabe doesn't like to hit and run, especially on an 0-1 count. Now it's 0-2.
Let's see if he goes again. He does not. Tapper left side. Kingery will get to 2nd. That's a good thing, because Ramos does not have great speed. So if they had quickly gotten a ball to 2nd and somehow got Kingery, they would have turned the double play. Instead, it's just a ground out, and the Phils have a runner in scoring position for Carlos Santana. Fouls it, and it's 0-1. ball, and it's 2-2. That's the slider from Wheeler. From Atlanta, we've got an update. The Cardinals have tacked on another run. Colton Wong, who had the double in the first inning, now homers in the fourth inning. Cardinals 82 at 68, certainly alive for the wild card and still within reach in the division. Santana got a good pitch to rip at there. And it remains full 3-2. Mets took a 4-0 lead on Jake Arrieta. The Phillies, though, tied it with 4 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Up until that point, Zach Wheeler had not allowed a hit and only 1 base runner. Phillies got 4 runs on 4 hits. Outside, ball 4. Now that puts runners on first and second. It's been an up and down season for the Phils. And on the next At the Yard, Corey Seidman and Ricky Metallico talk about which Phillies have exceeded expectations and which ones have not. And they preview the offseason's free agent starting pitchers. Listen to At the Yard on NBCSportsPhiladelphia.com or wherever you get your podcasts. So now Nick Williams. Williams singled his last time up. He has 1 of the 3 hits. I said 4. It's 3 hits. Phillies have had 3 hitters hit by a pitch in tonight's ball game in the last 2 innings. If they had gone to Blevins here, Gabe probably would have gone to Altair. Or may have gone Altair. Could have gone to Roman Quinn, too. Yeah, Dick fouls it back, 0-1. That got a piece of the home plate umpire. Bachelor is the right-hander. Gets away, and the runners will advance. It didn't go far. Nito slowed it up. So a wild pitch puts runners on second and third with 1 out.
More just poor form on how to block a baseball. You just can't go down to one knee like that and try and get over top it and smother a pitch. If you go down to one knee, your torso is going to be askew to one side. That one went right through the 5-hole.
It's now a base hit. Could score 2. Outside, 2-1.
I'm surprised that infield's not in a little bit more because Scotty can run at third base.
Yeah, they're in, which means they're thinking about coming home.
They're almost at a 3 depth. So there's basically 4 different depths of the infield at which you would play. 3 is not technically all the way in.
Curveball bounced foul.
But even where Dominic Smith is set up at first base right here, I mean, if he hits a slow roller in this direction, you know, Scotty, if he gets a good jump, he can get a good secondary. He's going to be on his way to home plate.
Strike 3 call. thought that was inside. 4 strikeouts for Wheeler. Pitch gas presented by P.J. Wheelahans. Right on the line. Did come back.
The finish on his fastball is something else. He's got that fastball kind of planes out. You think it's going to be low. Ends up staying on plane and right through the catcher's mitt.
And now Odubel, who was hit by a pitch his last time up, flied out to center field. Scored a run. He scored on the triple by J.P. Crawford. Popped him up, way up there. Nimmo comes running in. He's calling everybody off. And that'll wrap up the 6th inning. The Phillies get 2 in scoring position. They do not score. We have completed 6. We will head to the 7th. It's the Mets 4, Phillies 4. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary. Well, the Phils fell behind 4-0. Jake Arrieta won 5 innings, allowed 9 hits on 4 earned runs. But then the Phillies got 4 against Zach Wheeler in the bottom of the 5th inning to tie this one up. Wheeler 6 innings, 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, but he did hit 3 batters. The last pitcher to hit 3 batters for the Mets was Oliver Perez back in 2007. Well, there is the great Jay Horowitz, who is the longtime public and media relations director for the New York Mets. He is stepping aside at the age of 72 at the end of this year and is taking on a brand new role with the Mets. You know, we get to know all of the media relations staffs from the other teams. This guy has been the best over the years. I mean, he's so helpful on so many levels. In fact, I don't know if people remember in 08, Major League Baseball always sends representatives from other PR staffs to be part of the support staff. Well, Jay was here in the 08 World Series. I think that was the last time he did one. But he is assuming a new role, and it was a great celebration of all of his years in the National League before the ball game today. Bobby Wine came back. Sylvia Green, Dallas Green's widow, was here. Larry Boa was here, and all the media members all surrounded Jay. The Phillies PR staff did an incredible thing. It was a great moment. Beautiful cake presented to Jay, and they gave him a gift. And the gifts, back when Dallas was the manager of the Mets, I mean, it's been relentless as Wheeler's down on strikes. It's been relentless how players have, you know, kind of brought him in as part of the family, but they've teased him a lot too. And Dallas and his staff used to, and Mel Stottlemyre was the leader of this, used to put weights in Jay's bag. They used to steal his bag, kind of like Vuk used to steal Wheels' bag all the time and Wheels' briefcase and put it in different spots. And Jay would be walking with with weights in his bag, not realizing it. Well, they presented him with a beautiful bag today, and it was a great moment. Good man. And we'll still see him when we're up in New York, but we won't see him traveling anymore. One ball and no strikes to Ahmed Rosario. Tommy Hunter was able to pick up the strikeout of Wheeler, who I guess is going to stay in this ball game. And we told you Crawford was going to third, and Kingery in at short as Rosario serves one into right field, a base hit. That'll bring Jeff McNeil up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy with the Major League Notebook.
All right, thanks, Tom. Brought to you by the University of Maryland, University College. The Yankees had today off, but Aaron Judge and Aroldis Chapman did not. Both players participated in a simulated game for the Yankees as they both continue to work back from injuries. Now, Aaron Judge has been activated by the Yankees, but he is only running the bases and playing a little bit of defense. They're hoping today he swung the bat. They're hoping today is the next step to get him back into their lineup as well. As for Chapman, he has been out since the middle of August dealing with the knee issue, but he has said he feels very confident that he will be back with the Yankees before the end of the regular season. So that's good news for New York. And how about the Nationals? We know they have some good young talent. We've watched Juan Soto play for most of this season. How about Victor Robles, who was called up in September? He's actually their #1 prospect. His first major league home run today, 427 feet. It was a bomb down there in Miami. Right now, 4-2. The Nationals lead the Marlins in Miami. But Victor Robles and Juan Soto, two pretty good young outfielders that we'll probably be seeing for a long time to come in and around Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's kind of what we talked about before. We were discussing with Gabe. He was thinking about all the stars that are the young stars that are in the National League East and how great the division will be moving forward. Runner goes, pitches outside, and Ramos loses the baseball, and he is a tad frustrated.
That's why you have to go in and make sure you physically grab the ball out of your mitt. You can't flip it to your bare hand. I fumbled many, but you start to flip it. See where that flip is? And that's the result sometimes.
Tommy gets it into the hands of McNeil. That's a good pitch. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. To right field, Nick Williams. Rosario tags from second. The throw by Williams. He is a little offline. 2 outs and a runner at third. And now Conforto coming up. Every time a Phillies pitcher records a pitch of 95 miles per hour or more, which Tommy can do, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia.
Saying you got to pitch around Conforto here, but I would definitely be extra careful with him. Righty on deck and Frazier, although I know they love Hunter's cutter in on underneath the hands of lefties. But Conforto's been hot.
Outside. Balls, 1 strike. That'll be foul. Somewhere Jamie Moyer is doing what, Ben?
See how far a foul you can hit it.
That's so funny. Tommy Hunter, this is his 60th appearance of the year.
And that's what being on the DL to start the season.
Adam Morgan leads the way for the Phils. Adam's been in 61 games. He and Tommy have been jockeying back and forth for the team lead. Out toward right field. That's going to be in for a base hit. Now the Mets will retake the lead. Nick Williams bobbles it for a moment, and Conforto has his 3rd RBI of the night. Well, as you mentioned, Ben, be careful with the with the lefty with the righty on deck, and he tried to get it in on Conforto, and Conforto was able to fight it off.
But it was just one after the next. See him pull his hands in there and somehow not. He keeps that ball fair. That's a good piece of hitting.
Sure is.
But he goes cutter and then a 2-seamer away, then cutter, 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 cutter. All in the same location.
Todd Frazier takes a bit outside, 1-0. Toward left field. Hoskins is there. And about a step from the track makes the catch. The inning is over. Run does score, and the RBI double by Conforto. Time to stretch with the Phillies trailing at 5-4.
Hooks it in the right field corner. Score all 3. He would later come around to score to tie this ball game up 4-4. Unfortunately, the Phils are down by another run.
Yeah, Zach Wheeler still out there. And he'll face J.P. Crawford, who tripled his last time up. J.P. sends one in the air to left field. Conforto over near the line. And Roman Quinn is going to be announced as a pinch hitter. I know his pitch count is low, but Mickey Callaway could have easily taken Zach Wheeler out of this ball game. And he's just let him out there, let him stay out there with a lot of confidence in the young pitcher.
I know he's hit 3 guys, and Now he does have the 2 walks, but the stuff is still there. You can see that.
Roman 3 for 11 as a pinch hitter. On the out-of-town scoreboard, the Cardinals got a 2-run home run from Paul DeYoung and now lead at 6-2. So they're doing their part. Now the Phils have to retake the lead here, down 5-4. That's an awfully close pitch. And ball 4, so Roman's aboard. A 1-out base runner, and Cesar Hernandez is due up. Time now for our Ram Truck Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, Ben, here we go. Who holds the Mets record for most triples in one season? Most triples, Ben, in one season.
I had 2 names that came to mind. I had Lance Johnson and Jose Reyes come to mind. I'm going to go Jose Reyes because he's on the current squad.
All right, you should have gone with the first guy.
Lance Johnson?
Lance Johnson.
Man.
21 in 1996. Log back onto Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack.
Lance Johnson, not the biggest guy around. 36-ounce bat he used at times.
He reached double digits in triples in 6 consecutive years.
Wow. This will be a cat and mouse game here, T-Mac. This brings a whole different dynamic to this game.
Roman's a guy that could get 21 triples in a season. Now 0-2. Cesar pops it up, shallow left field, and Rosario's there. 2 outs, and that'll bring Reese up to the plate. Dave Islet is coming up to talk to Zach Wheeler. I always wonder what could this conversation be about.
This conversation is going down like this. How you feeling? Oh, I feel good. All right, listen. I want you to concentrate on getting Rhys Hoskins out, but don't give in to him. Don't worry about Roman Quinn at first base. If he steals second base, he's going to steal second base. Then you can pitch around Rhys Hoskins and go after Scott Kingery.
Doesn't he know that, though?
You would think. Just,
I mean, he's not alone in doing this. Everybody does it. Reese was called out for interference his last time up. Jeff Nelson marking down the visit to the mound. He didn't heed his advice. If that's what he told him,
yeah,
which I agree with. I'm sure that's what he said to him.
He's challenged Reese early on in his first couple of bats with fastballs in. I'd like to see Reese kind of not cheat, but for something straight inside here.
Inside. Two balls and no strikes. Now, Roman, do you think Roman's not going here because then they would walk Reese?
No, I don't.
To Scott Kingery?
I don't think you can. Now, if you would ask Michael Jack that, he'd say, I don't want him stealing base right here.
Right.
But, Rhys Hoskins is your guy. However, you can't take that part of the game away from Roman Quinn.
Two balls, one strike. Big at bat here. Reese 0 for 3 tonight. .31 home runs, 91 runs batted in. And a broken back ground ball to third. Todd Frazier has it. And the inning is over. 5-3 on the putout. No runs, no hits. One man left. 7 innings for Wheeler. He's allowed just 3 hits and 4 runs. We'll head to the 8th. Phil's down 1. He's got a little eye black, and Matt is doing as good a job with our crew and their home runs as he does scoring a telecast.
He's everywhere.
Oh, man. Fans see Matt all over the field. You can see him even, while the game's going on, just moving around. He moves around with Murph, but also he's out there for that opening shot for the pitcher, which is always a cool shot. Following the pitcher off the field, too. I thought we were going to see Matt take some swings. Look at Matt. There's an opening, big boy. Nope. We're going to go over the wall.
He just wants to show you his technique.
Always in character. Sir Anthony Dominguez will take over for the Phillies here at the top of the 8th inning. And he will face Brandon Nimmo, Dominic Smith, Austin Jackson. Those are the scheduled hitters for the Mets. Nimmo is 1 for 2. He walked and scored his first time up. Had a fastball 0-1. To the right side, Cesar comes charging in and throws Nimmo out, and one away here in the 8th inning. And Dominic Smith is due up. Jake Arrieta started. He went 5 innings, allowed 4 earned runs. Avilan pitched a third scoreless, then Arano 2/3 scoreless. Tommy Hunter allowed a run on 2 hits. And now it's Sir Anthony Dominguez trying to keep the Phillies within reach.
Good change up there.
The Mets have Robert Gesellman warming up in the pen. The Phillies have Hector Neris warming in the pen. I think Dominic Smith might have been fooled on that changeup.
How could you be out in front of a 91-mile-an-hour pitch like that?
There's Gesellman gearing up for 97, I guess.
Yes. That's swinging at release point.
Tried it again, and it's outside. How about this? The Miami Marlins have come from behind and now lead the Nationals 5-4 in the top of the 7th inning. Swing and a miss. There's 99. That's the 3rd strikeout of the night of Dominic Smith. And there are 2 outs for Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson is 1 for 3. He's doubled. He has struck out. He's grounded out to shortstop. Swing and a miss. A slider. He was thinking fastball.
Got all 3 working tonight.
Those are the pitches and the percentages for Dominguez this year. Outside, 3-2. Tomas Nido is up next. first, caught by Carlos Santana, and a 1-2-3 needed inning for Sir Anthony Dominguez. It's on to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Phils trail it by 1. Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com and buy Jefferson Health. Call 1-800-JEFF now or visit jeffersonhealth.org. Sir Anthony Dominguez with a scoreless top of the 8th inning. And now the Phillies down by 1, 5-4. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Time now for our Toyota Turning Point. This is how the Mets took the lead in the 7th.
The 7th inning, the cutter. They try to get underneath the hands of Michael Conforto, but he gets to it and gets enough of it to hit a double down the right field line. That scored Ahmed Rosario. That's where we stand. That was your Toyota Turning Point.
Wilmer Flores takes over at first base. He'll bat 9th for the Mets. And Robert Gesellman comes in and he'll hit 6th. Gesellman, a 4.03 ERA, on for Wheeler, who goes 7 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And Scott Kingery up for the first time. Mets might be using Gesellman here for 2 innings if he's effective. Kingery came on a pinch run for his Drupal Cabrera in the 6th inning. The Phillies got him over to 3rd, but he did not score. And now up for the first time. You know, we talked the other day about Kingery being lifted before his first at bat in the ball game against the Marlins. Well, we mentioned Bobby Wine was here. Bobby, longtime Phillies coach, also played for the Phils. And it's great to see him. He looks great as Kingery fouls it back. I told him, I said, tell the story about when Gene Mauch took you out of the ball game before your first at bat. And he said, well, not only did he take me out of the ball game before my first at bat, I didn't start the game.
Right.
He said he put me in the 2nd inning for somebody, and then before my spot came up to hit in the 3rd, he took me out of the game.
He played in the 2nd and the 3rd in defense, and then got pinch hit for in the bottom of the 3rd.
Swing and a miss. Kingery strikes out. And now Wilson Ramos is the hitter.
It
was so good to see Bobby, and it was great listening to him tell that story.
You said, what did you say to the manager? He goes, I couldn't say anything.
Because we didn't say anything to the manager back then. It was Gene Mauch who was the manager. Ramos gets this one up in the air in foul territory in the third base side. Todd Frazier makes the catch. And that's probably one he'd like back.
Yeah, that was a hanger.
2 outs. And here's Santana. He then went on to tell the story, which I think we already alluded to at one point this year, the Vukovic story, where Vuk, Sparky Henderson, I think, was it Sparky Henderson he said?
That's what he said.
Where Vuk didn't bat in the first inning in a bases loaded situation. Oh, it was very funny. I don't know if it was the Phillies dugout or if it were the fans that were getting on Jeff Nelson on that pitch. 2-2. Off the foot. And there is a base hit to right field for Santana. Rounding first, holding up there. Nimmo gets to it quickly. At a 2-out single. Nick Williams is due up. Are you interested in becoming a Phillies ball girl for the 2019 season? Well, here's your chance. The Phillies ball girls are looking for athletic, energetic, and community-driven women to serve as role models. Interested applicants should visit phillies.com/ballgirls for more information. See his numbers against Gsellman. He's had some success against him.
A little late on that one.
One ball and one strike to Nick. 2 balls, 1 strike to Williams. Out towards center field. On the run is Jackson. He's going to have room. He just missed that one. Yeah, that'll wrap up the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We have completed 8. We'll go to the 9th with the Mets up by 1.
Remarkable play here by Austin Jackson as he comes diving in here head first. Eyes on the prize. Take a hit away from Odubel Herrera. That is your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Hector Neris is on here in the top of the 9th inning, trying to keep this at a 1-run game. Jay Bruce is going to be the pinch hitter for the Mets. He'll pitch it for Nito. Bruce 222, 8 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Out in front of an off-speed pitch, 0-1. Oh, 2. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wilmer Flores on deck to hit for the first time after coming in as part of that double switch. And ball 4. Got ahead and then lost Bruce. So Jay Bruce with the leadoff walk. Join us for a day filled of prizes and surprises as we celebrate the best fans in baseball on Fan Appreciation Day at Citizens Bank Park. It's Sunday, September 30th. It's a 3:05 first pitch. In fact, all games that day in Major League Baseball are 3:05. It's the PGW 2019 schedule Fathead that'll be given out to all fans. Go to Phillies.com to order your tickets. Jack Reinheimer is on the pinch run. It's our collection of the best fans in baseball. Enjoying a night out here at the ballpark. Charlie Manuel was here today. Swing and a miss, 95. So all changeups to Jay Bruce, and now a fastball to Wilmer Flores. Hitting .266 with 11 homers and 51 runs batted in. Brewers are continuing to put the heat on the Cubs. Brewers are shutting out the Reds 8-0 in the 7th inning. They're 2.5 games back in the Central, the leaders in the wild card. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Christian Yelich has hit for his 2nd cycle of the year. Wow. And both have come against the Reds. Carl, has anybody had 2 cycles in one season? Carl Graver's going to check that out. Check swing, and that's going to be a ground ball base hit to right field. Reinheimer stumbled. He's on his way to third, and the throw goes to second from Nick Williams. You want to talk about bad luck. Good luck for Flores, bad luck for the Phils.
Even when he doesn't take a full swing, he hurts the Phils. Incredible. Oops. Hit them where they ain't. I think that's a perfect example.
Well, now Rosario and the infield is in. We said that a lot early on in this game. A little aggressive, and they capitalized on that aggressiveness. Was that still his split, or was that a slider?
It did have a lot of movement away from Rosario.
And he can do that with a split, but that was even more so than usual.
It was a splitter.
Swing and a miss. He got him. One out here in the 9th inning.
It's a movement away from Rosario here. That's what Hector can do when that thing is going well.
Phillies will still have the infield in with McNeil up. And it's 1-0. Austin Davis warming up in the bullpen for Conforto. And the 3-0 is in there, 3-1. I wondered if they would have him swing 3-0. I mean, he's a rookie, so they don't give him as much latitude. He is a contact hitter, and the infield is in. But I guess their thought is he's going to get the same pitch 3-1.
You do have Conforto on deck.
We've got a fastball, 3-2.
Conforto is your 3-hole hitter and single and double already in tonight's ball game.
And a line drive base hit to right field for McNeil. It was a splitter that was up in the zone, and it's now 6-4 Mets.
Another leadoff walk comes around to score.
McNeil now has 3 hits in this ball game. And now Gabe's going to the pen. He's going to bring in Davis to face Conforto. So pitching change. The Phillies are down 2 here in the 9th inning. And Hector Neris is still responsible for the 2 base runners. He's allowed 1 run so far and has got 1 out. We'll be back with a new pitcher right after this. (6-4) in favor of New York. And runners on first and second. Austin Davis is going to be the new pitcher for the Phillies. And he's on to face Conforto. Conforto already has 3 RBIs tonight. The answer to that question about Yelich and the 2 cycles, Aaron Hill was the last one. He did it in 2012. He had 2.
Wow.
So he is the 4th player overall to do it, Yelich. Had a conversation between Ramos and Davis. Conforto with 3 RBIs tonight against the Phillies. He now has 41 RBIs in 46 games against the Phils. Problem is, you're going to see him for a long time. At least that's the expectation. Inside, 1-0. Meanwhile, for McNeil, who just had that RBI hit, he has 3 hits tonight against the Phillies. 17 of his 60 hits this year have come against the Phils. 17, almost a third of his hits.
Yeah.
I mean, is he one of those guys that everybody else gets out, but your team doesn't? I mean, in some ways.
Yeah.
Two-0 pitch. The outside corner, 2-1.
I will tell you, T-Mac, that being back behind the plate, and you look up at the scoreboard, and whether it could be maybe just a series, it could be maybe for an entire season. But when you face someone like that, it's very frustrating. You look up the scoreboard, you don't see great numbers, but yet you can't find a way to get him out.
Well, his numbers are good in his first handful of games here in the big leagues. But you're right, there are guys. Remember, Adeiny Echeverria was that way.
Yes.
The Phillies could not get him out. Swing and a miss, 3-2.
He challenged him.
I think you have to at this point, don't you? Well, he tried to challenge him again. Conforto fouled it away. Out towards center field. That is well hit. Odubel's back toward the fence. He jumps and it is gone. A 3-run home run for Michael Conforto. 6 RBIs tonight for the Mets left fielder. And he has busted this game open here in the top of the 9th inning.
Man alive.
It is 9-4.
6 RBIs.
6 RBIs, Ben.
Challenged him with another fastball. It's a strong swing.
Well, 3 of the runs charged to Hector Neris. As you would imagine, 6 RBIs are a career high in a ball game for Conforto. Can't give up on Odubel on those plays anymore since he reeled that one in where he went into the bushes. But it was just hit too far away from him to get himself set.
Yeah, just didn't have enough time to get back there.
Yeah. Quick pitch. That one's right at Odubel in center field. Yeah, they're 2 away here in the 9th inning. And Nimmo's coming up. Zamora, the lefty, warming up in the bullpen. A valiant effort by the Phillies to come back from a 4-run deficit once. Now it's a 5-run deficit they'd have to come back from in the 9th inning. They were down 4-0 to Zach Wheeler, who had a no-hitter through the first 4 innings, and they scored 4 runs. in their half of the fifth.
It's a problem with having a younger ball club, younger bullpen. We saw what they did the other night. 7 innings pitched, no earned runs, just 2 hits, no walks. And tonight, not as efficient.
Three and two. That one's hit sharply on one hop, and it's bobbled for a moment by Cesar, but he recovers to make the play. The inning is over, but the Mets score 4 runs in the inning. The big blow, a 3-run home run by Michael Conforto. So we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's Odubel Herrera to lead things off when we return. Of the game. We go to the 5th inning, and it's Michael Conforto the first time.
And this scores a couple runs here. Or first of his 2 RBIs in the 7th inning. It's a cutter from Tommy Hunter. Shoots that down the right field line. That scores Rosario for his 3rd RBI. And then the big blow here in the 9th inning off Austin Davis. 3-run home run. Straight away center field, 405 feet. That scored 3 more. 6 RBIs for Michael Conforto. They're your WB Mason deliveries of the game.
So we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's 9-4. New York's on top. Conforto's the 2nd Met this year to have 6 RBIs in the game against the Phils. The other one, Jose Bautista. Plawecki stays in the game, or comes in the game to catch. And Andrew Knapp is going to pinch hit for Odubel Herrera with the lefty out on the mound. Sad part about this, and this has obviously been the case this year, on a number of occasions is that the team that they need to lose is cooperating. The Braves, they're down. They're trailing 6-4 in the 7th. Even Washington's trailing. I mean, I know Washington's behind the Phillies, but you'd rather not have them catch the Phillies. Knapp 0 for his last 15. Opposite field base hit, and Andrew is aboard with the pinch hit single. That ends that 0 for 15.
Beautiful, beautiful piece of hitting there.
After the ball game, it's Phillies post-game live. Amy Fadul standing by with Ricky Bottalico and Corey Seidman. It's presented by Cure Auto Insurance. They'll talk about Jake Arrieta's rough outing tonight, 5 innings. Crawford's big hit in the 5th. Jose Bautista has been introduced as a pinch hitter. Now Mickey Callaway is out, and he's going to make a pitching change. Drew Smith was warming up, and Smith is coming in. So the Phillies have the leadoff batter aboard. We'll be back right after this. Bautista, who's been introduced as a pinch hitter. Smith in 21 games, a 1.93 ERA. Bautista pitch hitting for J.P. Crawford. Inside, 1-0. Overall, Bautista hitting 197. He has 1 home run with the Phils. And he had 11 with the Mets before the Phillies picked him up. Inside, 2-0. Still need some base runners if you're the Phils. Jose thought that might have been a little low. Take a look at pitch cast presented by PJ Wheelahens.
No.
Right there.
I don't know what he's looking for.
Maybe he was more frustrated that he let it go by.
Yeah.
And a high fly ball to deep left center field. Jackson is back toward the fence and is there to make the catch.
Got it just off the end.
1 out here in the 9th inning, and Aaron Altair is going to pitch it. Jeff Nelson must have the nicest penmanship among umpires. You know why, Ben?
Why's that, Tom?
Because very deliberate when making changes. So that penmanship has got to be perfect.
It is key.
I wonder if he does calligraphy or something. All right, so here's Altair. And a breaking ball, a little high. It's 1-0. A high bouncer picked up by Frazier, and the ball game is over. The Phils lose the opener to the Mets 9-4. And depending on what happens in Atlanta, where the Braves trail by just 1 in the 7th inning, Phillies right now are 7 games out in the National League East. Michael Conforto is our Chevrolet player of the game. A single, a double home run, a career high 6 RBIs in 1 game. He's had a heck of a run the last 13. And he helps the Mets to their 11th victory of the season over the Philadelphia Phillies. So the Mets win it 9-4. They take game 1 of this 3-game series. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this.